Jon Jones and Dominic Reyes. The lingering tension. It's one thing to lose a decision in the octagon, but it's another to carry that sense of injustice long after the final bell. Dominic Reyes hasn't hesitated to tell the world he believes he truly bested Jon Jones in their 2020 title fight. From Reyes' vantage point, the judges got it wrong, and the Bones legacy took a questionable step forward. Yet Jon Jones, renowned for his withering comebacks, never misses an opportunity to land a verbal jab. Recently, Jones added more sparks to this lingering fire. After catching wind of Reyes' repeated declarations, he fired off a playful taunt, offering to settle the matter with a round of rock, paper, scissors. Some fans saw it as pure pettiness, others as comedic brilliance. Either way, the tension remains. While Reyes insists he did enough that night to claim the throne, Jones counters that his unanimous decision victory speaks for itself. The question is, will they ever get into the cage to resolve this once more? Or will these small barbs continue as a never-ending sideshow? Drew Dober's priceless comeback. Imagine placing a parlay bet on a UFC fight, only to miss out on your payout because one fighter finished too early. An angry social media user who lost money betting on the duration of Drew Dober's fight decided to vent his frustration by claiming this lost wager would keep him from paying child support. You might expect the standard, "sorry man," response. But in pure Dober style, what came next was a witty curveball. "I lost more money than you did. Wear a condom." In a single stroke, Dober both silenced the complaint and lightened the mood. But that wasn't the only surprise. Shortly after, he posted another message expressing regret over the brevity of his fight. Despite the comedic approach, a real sense of responsibility underpinned his words. He genuinely felt bad that fans didn't get to see more back-and-forth action. Sometimes the scoreboard doesn't show how much a fighter invests, financially or emotionally, leading up to a bout. Vince Morales' uncertain future. Picture stepping into the octagon, determined to right a series of wrongs and bounce back from multiple losses, only to fall short yet again. That's the heavy scenario Vince Morales confronted when he fought Raul Rosas Jr. The clash ended with Morales dropping a unanimous decision and extending his skid to 3 consecutive defeats. But it's not the physical aftermath that weighs heaviest on him. It's the worry about what comes next. Morales openly admitted he has no idea where the UFC will place him now. His candid post-fight statement revealed a mind clouded by doubts and frustration, unsure whether the promotion still values his presence or if he's at the end of the line. It's one thing to lose. It's another to sense your career might be slipping through your fingers. Over and over, Morales has found himself on the verge of victory, only to see the result slip away. Fans sympathize, but sympathy won't secure him another contract. A surprising exchange. Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett. Rivalries in MMA are common, yet there's something undeniably entertaining about a moment of levity between two competitors known for their brash confidence. At UFC London, Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett locked eyes during a ceremonial weigh-in. Instead of launching into an explosive shouting match, they shared a brief fist bump and a mutual grin. Nobody saw that coming, especially those who recall their heated social media standoffs. Topuria later explained they weren't in fighting roles that day, merely supporting friends who were set to compete. Pimblett echoed the same vibe, revealing that sometimes the competitiveness can take a back seat, if only for a few seconds. But don't mistake this as a permanent detente. In a sport governed by adrenaline and ambition, alliances can crumble overnight. All it takes is a scheduled bout or a misinterpreted statement to turn a friendly wave into a full-blown rivalry. Joe Pyfer's Mexico nightmare. Joe Pyfer's trip to Mexico began with high hopes, fueled by a successful weigh-in and the promise of a thrilling bout against Kelvin Gastelum. But within hours of his final meal before fight night, everything flipped upside down. Pyfer was struck with severe gastrointestinal issues. He lost a staggering amount of weight overnight, endured intense cramps, and realized he could barely stand without feeling dizzy. Despite trying to hydrate and push through, the situation reached a point where even the doctor found it too dangerous for him to compete. Disappointed and empty-handed, Pyfer left the event, apologizing to Gastelum for missing their clash and expressing his fury about the circumstances. He insisted he had followed every precaution. He avoided local water, slept in altitude tents, and did all the right things to prepare. In the end, none of it mattered. Whatever the cause, Pyfer vowed he would never return to the country that left him bedridden and forced to abandon such a critical fight. Chael Sonnen on the Alex Pereira versus Magomed-Ankalaev debate. Chael Sonnen, infamous for his strong takes, turned his gaze on the debate surrounding Alex Pereira and Magomed-Ankalaev. Many fans clamored for a second showdown, citing injuries and potential illnesses that may have hampered Pereira in their first encounter. However, Sonnen dismissed the idea that these factors would change the fight's outcome. According to him, the initial contest wasn't remotely close. Ankalaev appeared to dominate, leaving little doubt in a judge's eyes about who won. True, Pereira wowed observers by stuffing takedowns, something not everyone expected, but there wasn't enough firepower to turn the tide. Sonnen's reasoning is straightforward. No matter how much experience Pereira gains, Ankalaev will also be learning, adapting, and perfecting strategies. He sees no reason to believe that the next rounds, should a rematch occur, would produce a radically different result. Aljamain Sterling's take on Brandon Moreno. After Brandon Moreno's victory over a tough opponent at UFC Mexico, many wondered if he's on track for another shot at flyweight gold. Yet Aljamain Sterling poured cold water on that hype. He pointed out a glaring problem. Moreno has lost to the reigning champion, Alexandre Pantoja, on multiple occasions. Their trilogy thus far reads like a nightmare for Moreno. He fell to Pantoja on The Ultimate Fighter, lost in a UFC fight night, and then again in a title fight. From a business standpoint, the UFC might be skittish about booking a fourth showdown so soon. While Moreno's loyal fans are eager to see him avenge those defeats, the promotion knows that repeated losses to the same champ can stall hype and raise skepticism about a worthy challenger. Sterling suggested that Moreno might have to take out another wave of contenders or hope someone dethrones Pantoja before he sees another title shot. Jorge Masvidal's accusations toward Colby Covington. For some, a rivalry is rooted in professional competition. For Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington, it's personal. They were once friends, turned sworn enemies. The MMA community might have thought they'd seen every insult and condemnation these two could hurl. Yet Masvidal's latest accusation cuts even deeper. He implied that Covington's rumored drug use might be the reason for his drop in cardio, an attribute that once made him a formidable force in the welterweight division. Masvidal suggested that Covington snorted away his stamina, fueling speculation and fan debate. Of course, these are only allegations. Covington hasn't confirmed or addressed them in detail. But the insinuation alone opens a Pandora's box of questions about doping in combat sports, fighter lifestyle choices, and the hidden corners of preparation camps.